So I've gone through my fair share of bad habits during my trading journey that I've been trading for like 5 years now. And I've thought of 3 for this video. And the first one is half-arsing processes. First of all, what even are the processes for trading? Those things include forecasting, your daily forecast routine, also your trade journaling, and just general monthly reflections or weekly reflections, being able to look over your progress. And if I'm just being completely honest, that's me being lazy, having a lack of discipline. I was basically flirting with the idea of becoming a trader or just trading in general. I wasn't treating trading like a business. That's why I was half-assing my processes. That's why I wouldn't be serious about sitting down at a certain time before work, before uni, to go and do my morning forecast. And if this is resonating with you, this is basically right now, it's time to stop that, stop flirting with the idea of trading, and to start setting in some routines and structure so that you can get your processes done, because it's such a bad habit to be lazy, right? That's also a character issue. If you're being lazy, if you're lacking discipline, if you want to be a trader, but then you're not putting in the work, that bleeds into every other area in your life. Because the byproduct of half-assing, your forecasting or your ASR is, first of all, how do you know you're going to improve if you're not measuring, if you're not looking at your ASR of the trades you've taken, if you've not documented that? Second of all, if you are busy, if you are working full time or you have a family and you're failing to forecast, it doesn't make sense to be trading at all. How do you know what trade you're taking if you're not forecasting? It blows my mind. Back in the day when I would pull up my phone and I would see one retrace candle, one rejection candle, and I'd take a trade and be like, yep, I'm sorted. I remember being on the train on the way to uni. I failed my forecast. I didn't wake up on time. So there was me. I was on the train on the way to Waterloo, and I'd see one retrace candle, I'll take that trade, and what do you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, I'm just out of the trade, 1% loss. And it was just like, why would I do that? That's just such a lazy habit. So that was definitely number 1. Now, the second bad habit that I've had to overcome in my trading journey is emotional trading. And I don't know any trader that hasn't gone through the motions of emotional trading, the roller coasters of trading with emotions, right? This could be FOMO trading, revenge trading. I went to reverse engineer why I was feeling this way. And it definitely comes from a lack of patience, which comes from a lack of clarity. And the other thing that came to my mind was I was focusing too much on the profits rather than the process. I was so fixated on the outcome of a trade that it would cause me to become emotional. And at the same time, when I was thinking about it, I was also lacking in the internal work. Because we could be really working on refining our trading plan or backtesting, doing these processes, but then there's also that internal work, and we'll go more about that in point 3. But the fact that I was focusing on profits and I felt like, this trade had to win. My emotions were getting in the way of my logical process, if you want to call it that. And in order for me to really overcome it, the most important thing was, first of all, obviously self-awareness, being aware that, okay, my emotions are here. From Mental Game of Trading, that it's a great book, is that, emotions aren't a bad thing. It's what makes us human. And they're also triggers. They're like signals. They're an alert sign that there's something going on and for us to dig deeper. And every single time that I would dig deeper into why am I feeling FOMO or why would I revenge trade back in the day was basically, again, because of that lack of patience, but also because I was in comparison mode. I would look at other traders, I look at their trade idea and kind of follow that. I wasn't taking responsibility for my own processes, my own forecasting. And obviously then that would just misalign your ideas, your beliefs, your thoughts, your actions. And it definitely did cause me to become emotional. If you find yourself emotionally trading, again, emotions, they're a trigger that something is happening, that there's something going on. Don't fully disregard it, sit with it, process where is that coming from? Is it because there's a lack of patience? Is it because you're not putting the work in? Is it because you keep looking on social media and seeing what so-and-so is doing? Because if it is, let's say, looking on social media and seeing what another community is doing or jumping from course to course, right? Then you know exactly what you need to do. You've just got to go and do it. And have you got the courage to go and do that? But then definitely awareness, not judging your emotional trading from guilt or shame, but from a place of acceptance that vibrates higher on the frequency chart, right? If you can accept it, figure out a plan, move forward, and that's how you grow. That's how you overcome it. But again, this is coming from my journey. And before we go into the third and final point, I'm actually just gonna jump on my laptop, which I've got over here, because I want to do a little bit of a forecast. So guys, it is currently Tuesday the 11th. We're basically in New York Open kill zone. We've basically taken out these previous day highs right now. Market has been basically just pushing higher highs, higher lows. My thought process was from this morning's review forecast is basically we had no dollar related high impact news. Basically got a very strong rejection here coming off of this 4-hour BPR balanced price range. So I was anticipating price to take out previous day highs. It was either I was thinking for it to push into this 15-minute fair value gap as we retraced into New York Open, then get a New York continuation. But you can see price basically ended up moving forward, which was this scenario here. And what I'm thinking is, do I want to get involved in a New York continuation just like this? One thing to bear in mind is, because again, I did come from price action trading before, is that this is corrective, right? It's not as impulsive as, let's say, these candles over here. In ICT terms, low resistance liquidity, price gravitates to that as well. If we just zoom out, you can see, again, this is all just very corrective, low resistance liquidity, if you want to say. Price basically piercing here. This was NFP, came back down into this 4-hour BPR. Do I feel like price may test it again? Yeah, there is actually a high chance that it could. Again, because we just did have this 4-hour fair value gap left behind. But we'll see how price develops here. We do have this overall buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity here. So we're kind of like in this range. Right now, I'd say, yeah, we're in the equilibrium, and what happens usually in the equilibrium, price tends to become a little bit range bound, and it is a bit of a risky area to be trading in. So I'm gonna quickly make a breakfast smoothie, but I thought I'd kind of share a story as I tell you point number 3 of a habit that I've had to, or a bad habit that I've had to overcome. And it was kind of when I had a season where I was talking a lot about FTMO. There was a chapter in my trading journey in my life where everything was FTMO orientated, right? Because that's kind of what consumed my trading at the time. And I remember I made a trade. It was one of like the first trades on my FTMO account, let's say. I basically remember making around $2,000. It was like a 2% trade on a 100K account. So I remember the first thing that I thought of was basically,
whoa, I made a monthly salary in one trade.
And I was head over heels. And I had to catch myself there. I had to catch myself because I knew I couldn't be having that kind of self-talk. I knew that I couldn't be having that kind of, you know, that kind of like mental state. My self-talk was all over the place. And that is basically bad habit number 3, is just having poor self-talk. I don't even want to say negative self-talk because it's not always negative. It's just poor self-talk. Yeah, there's self-talk where it's negative. That's like, oh, you know, trading sucks, or I suck, or I'm not going to do this. Obviously, that's negative self-talk. But there's also poor self-talk, which isn't negative, but it's not good, and it's not what we want in our trading journey. It's going to be little things like, oh my gosh, I've just made X amount of money. I can go to Dubai. I can fly business class. Oh, I can get that car, right? It's as if we're basically putting money on a pedestal, and we're so infatuated by money, or this trade that we've just taken. Or even one of the worst ones I remember that I used to do was I would size up a trade and be like, yep, this is my entry, my stop loss, and my take profit. I'll be like, oh, that's gonna be a 3R trade, a 3% trade. Oh, with 3% on a £100,000 account. Oh, I could go to Disneyland. I could do this, I could do that. And it's just like, That's poor self-talk. We don't want to be having that kind of mindset. We don't want to be having that attitude or mentality. It could really be a double-edged sword, you know, like, yeah, it could, I guess, motivate you, but it's also could be the thing that hinders you, and it's very, very particular. So what do you kind of do about it is, again, self-awareness. And something that I love to tell people is literally journal your thoughts before you take a trade, when you take a trade, when you exit a trade, or maybe even just when you look at the market. Journal what you think, what you say to yourself. Take it another level. Video record yourself when you're doing your forecast. What's your language like? What's your self-talk? Because those things we do so unconsciously, the way we say things, the way we project what we truly believe about the market, right? The fruit of what you think the market is gonna be if you're consistent and profitable or not. I think that was such a groundbreaking habit for me to overcome. And you know, I still have to overcome it, right? Like there's just so many things, because it's not just trading. It's relationships, it's decisions, it's in business, it's in yourself. Like how you talk to yourself really impacts the impact of things in your life, right? The decisions, again, the choices you make. I'm gonna go make this smoothie. Definitely homework for you guys is to just, for 7 days or for the next 3 days, have a little notebook, have a notebook and just like journal the things you say to yourself, the things you think about the market. When you do your forecast, video record it. You'll be surprised, play it back. You'll be surprised at what you kind of say about the market. I definitely was when I was doing it for the first time. And that's why I love going into stuff like character, because that's what it's all about, right? But that's like the importance of inner work, right? When we're trying to overcome these habits, these negative things, these bad habits that are in our trading. Because a lot of it is self-awareness of just knowing what it is, where it comes from. And yeah, just most importantly, not judging it. Just accept it, create a plan, journal about it, reflect on it, and then move forward. And yeah, there's gonna be times when you're gonna go through it a few times. I definitely did. It's not like the one time I made a mistake, then I learned from it and I never did it again. It's like next time, now you pause before you want a revenge trade. You're like, oh, you know, you become stronger, wiser in your choices and your decisions when it comes to trading. And trading is a business. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's not just a little project that you're trying because you want to make a little money on the side. Trading takes that commitment. So stop flirting with the idea, put the work in, and make things happen in your life. Because again, if I can do it, so can you. And I'm gonna keep saying that because there's honestly nothing special about me. Honestly, nothing special. I'm just literally someone who has documented her journey, who basically started from zero knowledge, made all the mistakes, lost money, made money, lost a lot more money. And yeah, this is just kind of like the evolution of it. You see it being documented over the past 3, 4, 5 years. Food for thought, guys. Breakfast smoothie, which I'm having quite late, is currently 1:20 p.m. Happy Tuesday, by the way. It's Tuesday, the 11th of April, by the way, when I'm filming. Lunchtime smoothie. By the way, I hope you guys had an amazing Easter. I hosted Easter at mine. I have these little like cute, what are these called? Cute poster things. It's not a poster, I literally just printed it out on paper. And yeah, Easter was great. I hosted it at mine, had family over. Weather was amazing. I'll put up some clips on kind of like how my Easter was. And then, yeah, spend time with family, and then Kingdom family in the evening was just amazing. Definitely just a joyful Resurrection Sunday. But yeah, I hope you guys found this like helpful, insightful, valuable. If it was, please let me know in the comments. And if you resonate with it, let me know which one you resonate with. Let me know if you're gonna start journaling your self-talk, if you're gonna start videotaping your forecast, screen recording it, whatever. And you know, come back in a week's time and let me know how you get on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless.